So the particle separation rapidly challenges my way of thinking about stratification elsewhere. You know, in the Grand Canyon, the Tepic sandstone is 350 feet thick. And that has, it's a sandstone, and it has layering like you see at the pyroclastic flows at Mount St. Helens.
No.
Yeah.
And almost all geologists now are of the opinion that the Colorado River did not cut Grand Canyon. Could the logs float in vertical position, sink to the bottom, and get buried in standing position at the bottom of the lake?
Oh, that was so stupid.
Lamination! The word of the day, folks, and yet another term that Dr. Austin knows perfectly well, and yet has chosen to bastardize because he is on the telly box and people will clap. Lamination is the process that forms laminate, small layers of fine sediment that are laid down in low-energy water environments. So let's have a look back at what the good doc is pointing us to. It has, it's got small layers. Maybe it was formed under a low-energy lake. Right. Yeah, of course not. It's not freaking lamination then, is it?
Now this is the thing that angers me the most, is that he knows that everything he is saying is an absolute pile of rubbish, or garbage, as he would say. I mean, I know there's no benefit in insulting someone's character, but he is an absolute asshole. The guy presenting the show I could forgive for his ignorance, even willing ignorance. Dr. Austin knows this. And how does it benefit him? I mean, sure, it's going to benefit his creationist movement. These people watching the show, they're not going to doubt what he says, because he's a reputable geologist with a degree from a reputable university. Who are they to question his facts? They have no reason to think he's going to like them. So he is exploiting his own authority. And so, does he even believe this? Can you believe that there is a 6,000-year-old Earth? If all your arguments for a 6,000-year-old Earth involve you lying, I don't believe that there is a way to do that. It's sad to see someone abuse their own authority and abuse the reputation that scientists generally have for a cause that I can now only believe is monetary gain for himself. It's really sad to see. And I can only keep repeating this point, but I won't. So I'm just going to deal with the idiocy of everything he says from now on, rather than how much of a dick I think he is.
Yeah.
And almost all geologists now are of the opinion that the Colorado River did not cut Grand Canyon.
Now this should be a really easy claim to verify. If I go and search Grand Canyon geology, then the first page should include all the papers from the majority of geologists showing how the Grand Canyon was formed in an instant and that the Earth is about 6,000 years old. So let's see. We have, from the top, Phanerozoic structural geology of the Grand Canyon. Now the Phanerozoic is the geological age dating back to around 500 million years, so it's safe to say that the geologists using this term don't agree with the young Earth. Next up, we have the history of the Grand Canyon and the Colorado River in Arizona, a prime candidate for your support. And actually a very nice read, if a little dated by today's standards. Notice that the start of the formation of the Grand Canyon here starts at the beginning to middle of the Tertiary period, so we'll call that about 65 to 33 million years ago. So unfortunately no luck there. Moving on, we have a paper studying the breakup of Rodinia, looking at the Chua group, Chua, I'm not quite sure how I'm pronouncing that, but the Chua group from the Grand Canyon. Now, Rodinia is a supercontinent that was present around 1 billion years ago, so
Same with the Phanerozoic. This probably isn't going to be in your support, and it's not. Further down, cyclic aggregation and downcutting in the Grand Canyon. Again, another prime candidate for you. Just what you want, right? But no, it says these cycles take hundreds upon thousands of years. And just for fun, down at the bottom, we find Grand Canyon Monument to Catastrophe, which actually supports your claim really, really well. But that's because, of course, this is your paper, so we can't be counting that. So in short, wrong, 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 wrong. Although I should mention at this juncture that there is actually a huge conspiracy in geology, and that all the other scientists really do support Dr. Austin's work, that they just publish these for the money, rather than the good doctor here, who remains so poor and honest.
And I was out at Spirit Lake, sitting down there next to the lake eating my lunch, and I saw these 3 sticks that floated in. Notice the top of the sticks is floating out of the water. These guys are sitting there standing upright. And it reminded me of the logs. Could the logs also float upright?
First of all, polystrate trees form in areas where there is an incident of rapid sedimentation, such as volcanic activity. These are not dead trees at the time, they are living forests buried where they stand. Second of all, a dead tree on the bottom of a lake will rot way before any fossilization occurs. And if only we knew how the majority of trees floated.